has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
It's a positive film. It has heroes and villains, and that it essentially is a fun movie to watch. It's been a long time since people have been able to go to the movies and see a sort of straightforward, wholesome, fun adventure.
Well, it's a fantasy. It's not science fiction so much as it is space fantasy. And it's about people. It's finally about people and not finally about science.
The story, when you actually put it into words, is only so much nonsense to hang a great visual experience onto. It's the stuff that fairy tales are made of.
Sort of boiling down religion into a very basic concept. The fact that there is some deity or some power or some force that sort of controls our destiny works for good and also works for evil.
Marvelous, healthy innocence. Great pace, wonderful to look at, full of guts, nothing unpleasant. I mean, people go bang bang and people fall over and are dead, but, no horrors. A sort of wonderful freshness about it, a kind of like a wonderful fresh air.
It's got whatever you want it to be. It's pure entertainment. It's like a roller coaster ride, and it can be interpreted as long as you enjoy it, which is the intention.
Hello and welcome back to Generation Skywalker. For the first time since the 26th of August 2024, I am with the old guard. I have with me Jez. Good evening, Jezzy Bell.
Good evening, Stu. How's it going?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good.
Lovely.
It's been a long time.
It has. I can hardly believe it.
Yeah, me neither. We've also got with us Dan Burgess. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening.
Got a couple of things to pick with you over the course of the next hour. And I've got Peter Lee. Good evening, Pete.
Evening, Stu. Evening, how you doing?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Now, boys, obviously, 2024 was a bit of a, let's just put it out there. It was a crap year, really, generally, for us as a team. Issues going on all over the place. Obviously, the loss of Craig early in the year was hard to take. Jez, you sadly lost your father as well. And we've had all sorts of issues going on, which are pretty well publicised, I think, if you look in the right places. And you just kind of lose your mojo for recording. I think that's fair. I mean, last year we recorded just 6 episodes, and that was one in April where we celebrated Craig, and then 2 in May, 2 in June, and then that one in August. That was the lot. So, yeah, pretty slim pickings compared to what we have done previously. But boys, it is great. It is great to be back. Okay, I know you're all looking forward to record, aren't you? I mean, Dan's been texting me all day, going, "I just can't wait to chat Acolyte and stuff like that." He's been all over it.
Yes, Stuart.
Yeah. Well, boys, is there anything you boys want to say about our lack of recording in 2024?
I think you knocked it on the head with regards to where we are. There's been distractions with all of us. The loss of Craig, we can't understate it because of the huge job that he did. He was an absolute sort of powerhouse for the show, and would chivvy us along and square away all the artwork and all those things that he would just get done in the background, and just trying to motivate yourself and to get it going and to do all those other things. Yes, with all our sort of first world problems that we've all faced and other issues and whatnot, it's just been a monumental struggle, hasn't it? And also to try and gather us together at the same time. And that's one of our things that we all wanted to record at the same time. It's probably a combination also of no celebration last year, and from a Disney Plus point of view, I think there wasn't a great deal of sort of Star Wars content that was really galvanizing us as a crew. And individuals might have liked this or might have liked that, but I don't think there was anything which was really sort of pulling us up by our bootstraps and saying, yes, let's do this, even though we wanted to.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's a fair point. Talking of Craig, though, I mean, I put it onto our Facebook page the other day. We do have a lost episode. I say he's lost. It's just, I think someone just found it. It's just sitting in Podbean unreleased, and it was a committee episode that we recorded in August 2023. It's actually the last recording we all did with Craig as a big group. I know there was things like the Palatoy show, which had a couple of people of us on and stuff, but as a team, it was the last thing that was recorded as a big group collective. And it's quite a fun committee. It is cameos in Star Wars. Now, we're going to release that on the 15th of January, so just in a few days, which is actually Craig's birthday. So we thought it was quite fitting to actually release that at that point. So I'm looking forward to having a re-listen to that, because I've seen it sitting there and it's all ready to go. I think the video's sitting in YouTube as well, isn't it, Dan?
Yep.
Yeah, so this has got the complete works from Craig on this. So I nearly pressed play on it the other day, and I thought, no, I'm going to leave it until it's released. So because it will be like the best part of a year and a half since we recorded it. So it's going to be quite interesting to listen to.
Just need to do the artwork. It's the only thing you didn't leave for us. So figure out some recreate committee artwork.
Oh, is it not on there?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, that's why that other committee we recorded hasn't been released, because of the artwork. It doesn't. Okay, we'll work that out. We've got exactly a week.
Are you guys trying to subtly say that maybe we need some help with if anyone's good at artwork, maybe give us a call or what have you, because that's why we've delayed putting out another show that we recorded. Is that right, Stu? Because of a delay with some artwork?
I think so. We have got the ability to do the normal artwork, but the committee artwork he did, in the background, he had all the pods from like the my mind's really blank tonight.
The Senate.
From the Senate, exactly. And then he got chains around the Generation Skywalker crate and stuff, just as a starting point. Now, there'll be a template for that somewhere, but we haven't got it at this moment in time. So, yeah, we do need to have a little sort out generally amongst what we've done. I mean, last year I lost everything on my computer, so things like the committee jingle that I'd done gone. I've had to try to take it from elsewhere and just tidy up the ends and stuff. So all little bits and pieces, which are a bit of a pain in the bum. But yeah, it'll be fun. But this episode tonight, I don't think we've even said this. It's just gonna be a little catch up, just to show where we are before we jump right in, and we'll have a little bit of a gas at the end about what we've got planned, or some ideas we've got for this year. So boys, get your thinking caps on if you haven't already. Now boys, 2024, I want to just talk about collecting. That's what brought us all together, vintage collecting. But since we've been doing Generation Skywalker, I know we've all dabbled in modern. 2024 was a tough year. Did it affect your collections? Have you still been collecting? Dan?
If you take the year as a whole, I suppose a year of two halves. So the first half, very much so. I picked quite a few nice pieces up actually, but the second half less so. But in the last couple of months, I've picked up a baggy Darth Vader to go in my 6-pack. So I've got 3 out of the 6 figures now in baggies, which is good. So I'll keep hunting for them. That's been quite fun. And I've been picking up some Return of the Jedi 45 backs with the 9 num offer on. Only 65 or 45, 65 backs, but no, yeah, 65s with the 9 num offers on. So I've only got one of those left to get now, which is Squid Head, which is proving incredibly tough to get. I've been collecting those for the last couple of years now, so I've just got that one left to get. And I'm just looking around. I don't think there's a huge amount else. I think I got a Droid Factory Echo. That was quite fun, and I picked up a couple of Return of the Jedi comics for a good price at Farthest From at Christmas. But other than that, it's been pretty slim pickings the last few months.
I mean, I stood next to you at Echo. You were selling quite a lot of stuff off as well.
Yeah, I've sold just streamlining. I've got rid of a lot of the Jedi cards of the second wave of Jedi figures that they're on Kenner card backs, and I've just decided to let them go, and a few other bits and pieces. But nothing that I'm missing, so I feel like I've done a good thing, and making my collection a little bit more airy. So I've got a bit more space now. Probably to buy more stuff at some point.
Nice. PD Weedy, I know you bought loads.
No, well, not loads, but still active and still looking, and still trying to pick up pieces. I picked up, I think, I got the 2 upgrades of the dolls. I think we've covered those already at Echo in the spring. I got an upgrade of a Leo Palitoy 12-inch doll and a 3PO Denny's Fisher, which were both nice. Both upgrades, which I sold my old ones at Echo, but also at Echo in the autumn, I managed to get the Luke Skywalker Stormtrooper outfit on Tri-Logo, which had been kind of I've been looking for quite a few years. That one had been evading me, but finally picked that up. So that leaves one more for that Tri-Logo last 17 run, which seems been doing that about 7 years. So that would be nice to get that done this year. It's just R2 pop-up, which I was wanting to get the Luke before I got the R2. So the R2 does seem slightly easier, although I haven't seen one for sale since I got the Luke. So we shall see, but I hope to get that this year. But yeah, I think I'm still active, still looking for stuff. I think probably getting slightly pickier with condition as time goes on, but certainly looking to get stuff. I think the 65 backs down, I think I want to go down that route as well. I'd like to pick those as sort of Jedi release, the first Jedi releases that look nice on the Palitoy 65 back. I've got about half of them, but I've got the others on Kenner, so I might swap them out. So I've got a Palitoy run on that. And then the Tri-Logos, the 70 back Tri-Logo, the second Jedi release, and that would join up nicely to the last 17. And again, I've got quite a few of those already, so just bringing that whole Jedi line under Palitoy, which would be nice, I think. So yeah, still active and still kind of keeping an eye out, but getting pickier on condition, and that's the game, isn't it, at the moment? I think getting stuff in nice condition is hard.
Well, there we go. There we got our first little challenge of the year then, okay? It's Dan v Pete. Who's the first one that can buy a 65 back squid head, okay? I've got to go for it. And I really hope you win, Pete, because he's been looking for it for ages, apparently.
Don't go on TNT auctions next Wednesday, Pete.
I'm going to go on there and just buy it for a laugh.
You're going for the debut back, aren't you, on those?
Oh, the A and the B have both got the 9 num offer, and I'm not fussy whether it's the A or B. I think the bit that makes it a B is just a number in the corner somewhere, but I'm not that anal.
So what's the bandolier strap up? Was that C or was that?
Yeah, I think so. C or D, something like that. Yeah.
I'm not worried about the back, so.
Yeah, they're pretty easy. I mean, I think the Gam Guard's hard across all of those card backs, but the rest of them seem, if you're not that fussed about getting the bandolier off on the back, then yeah, they're pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah.
Emperor's Royal Guard is quite tough, isn't it? I think to get decent.
So when's that auction?
Not telling you.
I'm not going to go on there and do it. I just might sit and watch it.
There's a few. There's some nice auctions coming up. So CNT's got a big one. I think it's next Wednesday. When will next Wednesday be? The 15th of July of January, and then a couple of weeks after that, there's another big Vectis extravaganza, and then Oberon's got an auction early February. So there's it's nice auctions coming up. There's some nice pieces in there.
And don't forget Hakes. You've seen the Hakes stuff?
I haven't, mate. I haven't looked. What have they got coming up?
The start of the Jeff Jacob sort of collection that he's selling all of his collection. It starts, I think the first one goes through 22nd of Jan, finishes up. It's online now. It's just worth looking at just for the condition of it. It's just bonkers how nice some of that stuff is.
You're never going to get a better condition collection than that.
No. Well, Jez, let's stop them two. What have you been doing this year?
What have I been doing? The podcast isn't that long. Do you want to know why I've been buying Star Wars wise?
Yeah, don't be pedantic.
All right. All right. We'll have a drink. Well, after I think taking the mick of the Lego Star Wars Advent calendar, when we did that one back in August of last year, I ended up getting that. So that was a little bit modern. That was quite nice, actually. I thought that was really well done. But as an Focus collector, Luke X-Wing sort of focus collector, and as you know, I was thinning out my Luke X-Wing stuff because I just felt my collection was a bit too orange. I only had one Power of the Force carded figure, which funny old thing was Luke X-Wing. So I gave that to Nick of Oberon Auctions to say, could you sell this for me? he sold it for a reasonable. It got a reasonable return with that. And then on the next Oberon auction, I just said, right, what I'm after is a Droids Minton card, and to see if I can get myself another Power of the Force. And I was actually able to do that. So for the money which I got for my Luke X-Wing, I was able to turn that one-carded figure into a graded Canadian Droids, which was a Jord Dusat figure, which is nice to have another different example of card backs and stuff like that. That's what I like in my collection, a variety of card backs, a variety of character, of artwork, of Star Wars through the Jedi. I've got predominantly Palatoy, but some Kenner and quite a few tri-logos and sort of hybrid tri-logos and stuff. But amongst that and the other bits and pieces, just different examples of size packs and various things. I wanted an Ewoks carded figure and I wanted a Droids one. So by just moving that piece on, I've been able to do that. So it didn't cost me anything, because it's just nice to move some stuff around. And I'm not dissing a Barada, but the Power of the Force which I got was a Barada, and I was like, okay, yeah, fine. And then we're at the most recent Farthest From. Nick had his sort of booth there, call it what you want, his trader's table, and he had an Amanaman Power of the Force, and I was like, oh, cool. Actually, yeah, that's I'm not having a go at Barada, but the Amanaman is a much nicer carded figure in my opinion. So I just said to him, look, any chance we could do a swapsies, and I just gave him a couple extra quid, which I ended up getting back off him later on when at the room sales I got rid of a load of my swapsies of vintage collection. So all in all, I've enhanced my collection somewhat, quite nicely. It's not cost me a penny, which is exactly the way to do it. And the one other thing which I've got is an X-Wing micro collection. So the miniature X-Wing, which is below my sort of main Palatoy X-Wing, but this is, as the micro collection, this is the one which can sort of crash, fall apart, break into a few different parts, and that's pretty cool actually. I quite like those some of those micro collections.
You kept that quiet.
Yeah, well, I got that one on Dark Side. I think it was Dark Side, yeah. So I saw it come up, and I'm like, oh, I think that's the one which comes apart now. I think Gaz was, oh, hang on a sec, let me check. Oh yeah, you're right. So not many people know about that feature necessarily, but that's quite nice. And
was it loose, or did you get?
Yeah, it's just loose. So it's actually, I've got it. So bottom of one of my tools, so I've got the I've got that vehicle maintenance energizer, and it's like the pimpest that's ever looked, because that's a bit of a dull accessory, isn't it? And I've got that sort of with a load of Luke's holding it in like hoses going into the back of the X-Wing, and actually, you're doing something with that vehicle maintenance energizer, and a load of Luke's in there. And then I've got this micro X-Wing just sort of parked next to it. It looks all right.
We have to get the TIE Fighter now.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing, I've just got a couple more vintage collection, because as you know, I'm trying to get one of each type of card back. So all I'm waiting on now is the Power of the Force figure, and they released the Yak face with the katana. So that one's, commanding quite a sort of competitive price, quite a high price rather. So I'm on a lookout for a Power of the Force vintage collection figure, and at the moment it can only be Yak face. And I don't have a Skeleton Crew one yet either.
They'll do another Power of the Force figure.
They're gonna.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, they're gonna, because the way it works, because I'm often one of the unluckiest blokes there is, and if I choose a queue to queue up in, choose the other queue, because my queue will always be the slowest, etc. What will happen is I will eventually pull the trigger on a Power of the Force Yak face, which going for a few hundred quid, and just after I've done that, they'll release just a romper or a regular figure. So yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Well, they might do, if they've done the retro collection, they might do Han Stormtrooper in a Power of the Force style.
It's gonna happen. Come on, let's make it happen. That's pretty much me. So not a great deal on the Star Wars collecting front at the moment, but still, as you say, still in the game, still looking, still loving. What about you, Stuart?
Non-existent, really, isn't it? It's been selling more than anything, and the room doesn't seem to get any emptier. which really does my head in. I kind of like constantly sell stuff, and it's just constantly full. It's I don't know what I'm doing.
Nothing's changed there then, really.
No, I've got every intention of coming and sorting this out, and it is New Year, let's go knock it out, and I'm sure I will this year once I clear out everything. I'm just off grip of it. Yeah.
Are you still trying to finish your loose collection off?
Yeah, I haven't bought anything on that for a while. That's sitting there with about 20 spaces, but I will get back on it. I kind of I think it goes hand in hand with doing podcasting, actually, because I think the last show we recorded outside of a committee was The Modern Way back in August, and the day after that I pre-ordered the Kit Fisto and the Chewbacca with the 3P on his back Hot Toys. But I wouldn't have pre-ordered those if we hadn't sat there and looked at them that night. So the lack of podcasting, all right, I just said we'd done 6 podcasts last year. I think I was on 2 of them. So for me, it's even less than that. So I think when you're recording and talking about these things, you're made more aware of it. You look at them and you're like, oh, I do really like that. So I do expect something. There was something at Farthest From that was announced that I was like, actually, I really like that, which we'll talk about on the next Modern Way. In fact, the first Modern Way show of the new year is going to be focused around that. So I'll talk about that towards the end of the show. But yeah, I will dabble again. I will finish that loose run and then we'll see where we're at. I've got a couple of micro collections. I think I've got a friend that's really into them now. So yeah, I know I'll be offloading those. 2024. I mean, even seeing you boys for a large part of it didn't happen. Early part of the year, we did go to Craig's house on May the 4th. Kimberly hosted a select group of people to look at Craig's collection one last time before it would start to get broken up, which was it was very nice to go and see it and nice to catch up with you boys. And so we saw each other then, but then as the year went on, not a lot happened until I think I saw Pete and Dan at Echo. And then
don't forget Pete's birthday.
Pete's birthday in the summer. Now, Pete's birthday in the summer was, I would say, was the first time we'd properly got together and just had it. And Pete was so drunk, wasn't he?
I was. I forgot.
He was so drunk. He was like, we were like having a conversation. Jess would be like, yeah, I'm really into the droids line now. I'm really looking to get a Kia mold to go with my Faljoban. And then Pete would like that, which was great, wasn't it, Pete? You were what was it, your 60th?
No, my 50th. It was my 50th.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
It was good. Too much tequila at the end of that. I don't remember the last hour at all, but it was good up until then. I think it was good during that hour, but yeah, memory is gone.
It was a really good night, and we should do that more often, just as mates anyway. And then
I went back there in November, and it was like, like in Stranger Things when they go to the upside down, it was like that because it was broad daylight, and it's I've been here before.
We went to Echo, Pete and Dan. Jez was sadly missing. I think you were off running somewhere, Jez, like you do. We went to the Echo Mill, Dan. I think Jez went with you earlier in the year. You highly recommended it. Brilliant evening. The day was great. Went for the Japanese.
We won. Hold up. Slow down. We won the quiz, mate.
I know. Actually, I have my little Lego man right here.
I've got 2 of them. I've just put a photo of them in the chat in case I don't know if Jez had seen them or not. But yeah,
why have you got 2? But you had Emma with you, didn't you?
Yeah, she got one too. She didn't contribute, so I kept it.
Very nice, Harry.
We won the quiz,
yeah.
Everyone there, we won them. Look, there you go. I got 2. I
think the people who were on our table really appreciated having our little corner on it.
Well, I got to admit, I quite appreciate Grant being on our table. To be fair,
he was pretty. He was pretty useful, wasn't he? But yeah, so that's Echo smashing it, and Wayne in particular with that evening. Wayne's raised a lot of money, hasn't he, for charity? Yeah, doing numerous stuff, and I know that's his kind of love child side of Echo. And then Farthest From in December, It's kind of a bit like our kind of pilgrimage. Farthest From's brilliant. I mean, it doesn't matter how many people are there. It's just, I just love going down there. I love spending time with you boys, and I love doing what we do. It kind of that was the point where I thought we need to get back on doing what we do because it is enjoyable. I love sitting on these evenings and just chatting shit with you boys.
How was your how did you get your Beano figures safely? There's a theme coming on here with a Beano. You were talking about a Beano annual before we came on. I just remembered you bought some Beano figures.
I bought one Beano figure. I bought a fatty from the Bash Street Kids. Yeah. Went to Farthest From, bought a Beano figure. I did buy I got Sabine Wren's helmet in the auction, and
you got it all worn.
Oh, it's not working. I've been ripped off. I don't know. I wonder if that's because it's so cold out here. My Ewok horn isn't working.
You'll have to put the sound effect over the audio.
But let's talk about Farthest From because it was great. I mean, we do need to give it a good bit of love in here. What was that, Jez? No, Jez, I can't understand what you're saying. Okay, mate. I think you have a little look at your microphone.
I got no idea what's going on.
Yeah, Farthest From, Jez.
Yeah, it's great. It's fun. Dave, bless him, is moving with the times and evolving, recognizing that things do change. The guests who he's getting, knocking out of the park again. Last year had Pablo Hidalgo amongst others, and this year we had Steve Evans, who initially I was like, well, hang on a second, I don't recognize that name, but is a sort of director of marketing for Hasbro for Marvel and Star Wars. Huge collector, massive fan of vintage, but a lifelong collector of Star Wars. Was just like the perfect guest, really, because he ended up ticking so many boxes, really enthusing for the fact that Hasbro, we'll probably come on to this, so I'm sorry if I'm stealing your sandwiches or what have you, but Hasbro doing announcements, doing drops and announcements and stuff from Fordingbridge, from Farthest From. It doesn't get much better than that. People making reference to it. So the fact that we were able to interview him the night before our special evening, and then on the Sunday he was doing all the bits and pieces, moving it from the vintage collecting day on a Sunday to the Saturday based on consumer feedback from the quiz, from the survey which we had put out about 6 months earlier or so, where we were saying to people, what's your preference? The majority of people were saying actually Saturday is our preference, very much like Echo. Echo Live is on a Saturday, so people can be there on the Friday night if they want, or the Saturday night, or both. So moving the family fun day from the Saturday to an alternative day on the Sunday, which was a sort of anything goes swap meet, where people could just rock up with stuff and have their own table, and the panels were there. Kind of just reinvented Farthest From, and I don't know anyone who was there this weekend who didn't enjoy themselves, who didn't have a good time. I know that Nick Dykes was there on the Friday night, the Saturday night, and the Sunday. And he said he had a great weekend, and people were. Everyone seemed really, really up for it, and there were more people in the panels late Sunday afternoon than I'd seen in years and years and years at Farthest From panels. So all in all, I think, I was really surprised, with the greatest respect in all respects, how well it went and how well it was sort of accepted and taken, and the changes which were introduced, I think were all really, really positive. And again, massive shout out because, we mentioned it earlier on about the money which Echo Live, they're a good amount of the money which they generate that weekend goes to charity. Well, everything which Dave was collecting was going to charity. So on this occasion it was the Christmas appeal, it was the Salvation Army Christmas present appeal, was again getting loads and loads of money from on behalf of, or due to the efforts of Dave and all the team. And I know that we had a pretty good special evening on the Saturday night. I thought it was a great weekend.
I mean, the raffle prizes, you're right. You've got to shout them out. I mean, Martin Keeler works alongside Dave in there. They're getting some great items from the States and stuff, you know, from Lucasfilm and whatnot. And they are great little pieces in there. I mean, if you were lucky enough, you might have got yourself a non-working Ewok horn. A great event, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it out there now. We're up for next Christmas. Yeah.
You know what? I think we will be, and I wouldn't be surprised. We need to catch up with Farthest From HQ, but I think I don't think we're gonna have to wait until next Christmas. We'll have to hear from Dave, and you guys will hear it from us ASAP. Yeah, I am almost certain that there'll be another one next year, because the formula that we have now for that Saturday night is perfect. The Saturday night, 2 years on the trot, is the best Christmas event Farthest From has ever had.
I'm also going to put it out there that Dave, I know you're listening, Dave Tree is going to announce the Christmas date by the end of August.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. The one thing that we could have done a little bit better, and I'm going to go into my countdown app that I have and look at past events. So what we didn't do that well was the amount of notice that people had for the Christmas meal. So the Christmas meal notifications went live on the 21st of November, which only really gave people about 2.5 weeks. And that wasn't a great dinner time.
It was still a good showing, though. It was, it 30, 40 people there?
46, I think.
Yeah, it was only a few off being sold out, wasn't it, with that hole? So
yeah. So, you know, all in all, outstanding. And
I think it was actually better than last year, because I think we took some of the learnings, especially on the alcohol front. It's a bit more variety this time round, and it was a good evening.
It was.
Yeah, there were shots going on and all sorts, wasn't there?
Tequila Rose. It was it was great. Yeah, we gave everyone 17 days and 2 hours notice.
Hopefully, I hope Tequila Rose will come again next year, because she was a lot of fun. And the only other thing I'm going to move it on. The only other thing in 2024 particularly was, which I wanted to talk to you. I mean, you mentioned it in the intro, Jez, about, you know, did the what we were watching grip us? I mean, 2024 we had Tales of the Empire, we then had The Acolyte, and then obviously currently the Skeleton Crew. Are we getting the content now? I think this is a topic we need to discuss on a podcast. I mean, I know Dan actually is really disappointed. So much so he watched The Acolyte, and I haven't seen, even online, a bigger Acolyte fan than Dan. But when it was announced that season 2 wasn't happening, I know he cancelled his Disney Plus subscription because of the cancellation on that. Dan, you were absolutely devastated by that news.
Oh dear. Do you really want to go down this road?
No, not really. But I'm just saying, you were gutted, and it did trigger you to do that, didn't it? I mean, you were like, what's going to happen to May? And
I don't even know who that is.
I can't remember what the other one was called.
I thought that. Ocean. Yeah. I don't know. I'm confused.
Ocean,
I don't know what was going on that show. I don't know what was going on. I was really looking forward to it, and I heard all the stuff about it's a female-led sister series, and it's going to be horrendous. And I kind of but they're focusing on the dark side. I do like my Darth Plagueis novel and all things Sith, and I thought it was going to be that. Let's follow a Sith around for 6 or 7 episodes, but it wasn't, and I thought it was dreadful. I really did, and it. I started doing the polls on Generation Skywalker, and I got to episode 3, and I was kind of like, nah, I'm not sitting this every week. I couldn't bring myself to do it, so we didn't even get through all of the polls. It's the worst piece of Star Wars I've ever seen. I thought Last Jedi was bad, but they took the biscuit with that. And I have cancelled my Disney Plus subscription, and I haven't watched Skeleton Crew, but I will catch up with it when Andor comes out, and I'll binge watch the whole thing in one go rather than try and watch it half an hour at a time.
Pete, have you been watching Skeleton Crew?
I've watched. I think I'm about halfway through it, but it's I don't know. It leaves me a little bit flat. I'm just not. I'm just a bit bored watching it. Nothing's kind of like reaching out to me and sort of like getting me involved and getting me really excited about it. But I don't know.
I think there is a show at the end of Skeleton Crew. I think there is some massive positives for Skeleton Crew. They've clearly spent a lot of money on it, but I get you. I sit and watch the episodes, and they kind of just pass me by a little bit, and I do wonder whether I would be sticking with it if it didn't have Star Wars written on it.
Yeah, exactly. Where are we up to, and how many have we got to go?
So, is it 6 or 7 that's just come out? Jez will know. Jez will be up to date on it. I think is it number 7 today?
I am up to date on it.
I haven't watched it today. I haven't watched last week's yet, actually. But yeah, is that 7, Jez?
Yeah, so what you've got is an 8 episode show, and you've just had episode 7 drop today.
So it's 8.
Yeah, so we've got one more to go. Is my understand? Yeah, we've got one more to go.
We'll keep.
Don't you think it's a crying shame that we've gone from getting that excited about an episode of something dropping like The Mandalorian in those early years that we'd all be on Messenger. Have you seen it yet? Don't we'd have spoiler groups of people going and spoil it for each other, and amongst all our friends. There just doesn't seem to be a lot of chat about these new shows now. I think people think, since Book of Boba Fett, it just feels like it's been a downward trend. I quite like The Acolyte. I know you weren't a big fan of that. Not The Acolyte. What was I talking about? Ahsoka. So I felt there was a bit of an uptick, but it just feels like it's diminishing returns on some of this Disney Plus stuff, and we need a big movie.
I think this is a whole podcast episode.
Yeah, so do I.
They need a win, don't they? And Andor hopefully will be there.
I will tell you what the elephant crew, the Skeleton Crew would do. Okay, if they were to make, they could have the most fantastic toy line, because the pirates and some of the characters we're seeing, there's so many different species in this show that actually, from a toy range, it could be quite incredible. I mean, some of those pirate characters are brilliant. I love them. Yeah. Just visually. And to be fair to the children, I think they're all pretty decent actors, because sometimes they bring in these young characters and you're a bit like, ugh. But actually, they're all pretty good at what they're doing on there. So I definitely think Skeleton Crew is a show. I think there's quite a lot to dig in. I mean, just throwbacks to the 80s. I mean, the Goonies, Ferris Bueller, the holiday special, the kind of like acrobat scene. There's so much throwbacks to other stuff that we definitely need to delve into it, I think. Yeah. So
100%. I am, I've said to you, I'm really, really disappointed that we haven't done an Andor special, that we didn't do an Acolyte one, that there are other shows. We still haven't done a Mandalorian sort of follow-up. We did an outstanding Book of Boba Fett one. We've done a Kenobi one. We've done the Ahsoka one. So we've done some really, really good sort of deep dive shows. And I think we need to do this. And regardless of whether or not people like it or not, everyone's got a voice, and as long as it's balanced, appropriate, this, that, and the other. There was one element of Ahsoka that I didn't like, and Dan sort of keeps on thinking, oh yeah, I know I like that more than you, Jez, but which is unusual, because usually it was me trying to sort of say, oh no, this is great, and justify that. And I think that's great. I think that's great that we all see different things in it. But I think we should look at this, and I know that Dan didn't like the Acolyte, but I do think that we could really do one, an objective assessment of it, and Dan can chip in with whatever he wants or doesn't want, because
I've got plenty to say, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So let's provide some balance.
Sometimes the best shows to record as well. Yeah, have a lot of fun when I can remember the evening. We spent hours going through that Book of Boba Fett. And that was a great show when we deep delved into that and just kind of, took it to pieces. My concern with TV, okay, moving forward, not just TV, film as well, Star Wars on the screen, okay, is actually, we always had all these loads of announcements, and we knew there was all this coming. We got this coming, this coming, this coming. You got this. But actually, you got Andor this year. Is there anything else after Andor in 2025? I'm not sure
No,
there is.
but that's a good thing though. That's
Yeah,
a good thing.
maybe Dan. But and then you've got Mando and Grogu movie in 2026, perhaps Ahsoka season 2, and then whatever that Rey film is. But what else
But
is there?
that doesn't even sound like it's nailed on.
What's
But
happening with the
what
Lando?
else? There's nothing else
Yeah,
announced, is there?
absolutely. What's happening? Lando TV show? No, Lando film? No, now this, now that. With the Acolyte, I think Acolyte season 2 won't happen, but I think there would be a follow-on from the Acolyte where we still get to expand and follow on from the stories which were sort of dripped tantalizingly sort of left hanging with regards to what some of the characters which we might have seen at the end of the Acolyte and other bits and pieces, and focusing a bit more on the stranger. So I think the title, the term, the Acolyte may have gone, and therefore they might just start using a different show name, to shed the sort of shed the bad vibe, which was the predominant vibe of that. I know that there's some people who are very passionate for that, but unfortunately,
where are these people that are passionate for it? I don't know anyone.
There are some people. There are some.
I don't believe you. I'm not buying it.
No, well, you don't need to. There are some Facebook groups. There are some people, but they are now trying to be a vocal minority to counter what we saw is another vocal minority. You had two sort of distinct groups, and then a large proportion of people who were fairly nonchalant in the middle. So you had a group who were very, very sort of vehemently against it and quite, toxic or very, very vocal. But again, I would call them the vocal minority. And then you had a distinct group of people who were really pleased that they were going along certain avenues and picking a few threads, and actually maybe those people who do like a different element of representation, and I still see them as a vocal minority. So you had two distinctly polar opposite vocal minorities who stole the majority of the narrative online, and they were fueling their own sort of passion, hatred, distrust, and all that sort of stuff. And caught in the middle was the silent majority who were like, what? Okay, all right, then I won't watch it. Fundamentally is some people liked it, some people didn't, but a load of people just didn't watch it. And let's face it, Disney aren't doing this for nostalgia. Disney aren't doing this, for giggles or anything. Disney are doing this for green, right? For money, for business. And if there's no return on the investment, and if they spend so much in production and then hardly anyone watches it, or people then start cancelling their Disney Plus, then Disney are going to go, well, it doesn't matter that there's a certain demographic of people who liked it. It didn't give us the business that we're in this for. So
that's like any TV show, isn't it? If no one's watching it, it gets cancelled, and it doesn't matter what people are saying online. And I don't think the swathes of people, the millions that would watch a TV show, were swayed by either positive or negative vibes online. I think the advertising, it was advertised quite heavily, and there was just people just didn't, they may be tuning in for the first or second episode. By the time they got to the third, what was that? What was it? I still can't get my head around it. And then they did a replay of it in the 5th episode. I'm like, my God, it blew me away. And then when members of the senior team at Lucasfilm had the audacity to blame fandom on its failure, I just thought that this really soured Star Wars for me. I'm really I don't get offended. I don't know if you get triggered in that way, but I was really offended by that. I think it's a terrible stance to take, to defend the show by blaming the people that you're trying to sell it to.
But I think also people started dropping off Ahsoka. Like a lot of mates I've got who really like Star Wars, watched all the sort of The Mandalorian and Andor, loved all that, and then the minute Ahsoka came along and they got no real link to that, it doesn't really mean anything. So they started dropping off there, and I think 3 shows in a row you had Ahsoka, then Acolyte, and then Skeleton Crew. Because none of those are really pulling back that core audience, I think. So and it harks back to what you're saying, Jez, about the money, and people are sort of not signing up for Disney because for various reasons, but they need a big Star Wars show. So I think so much is dependent on Andor coming this Is it spring? Is it April the next Andor?
Yeah, it's April the 22nd, so it's just a couple of days after Celebration. So it's tied in wonderfully with Celebration because, you know, they're gonna show one, 2, 3 episodes in Japan.
You know, and they're a 12 episode series. You got what 45, 50-minute episodes, weren't they, last time around? So it's a big old chunk of Star Wars, and that's going to take, you know, unless they release multiple episodes in a week, you're looking at 3 months for that to be released over. So it's a nice long stretch, and then, you know, like Stuart said, a break after that, and then we see what we get with the Mandalorian and Grogu. The thing is, I still think it's a terrible title, but hopefully it's a good movie. Something to look forward to.
Yeah,
May 26th, right?
I think so. Yeah. That's the old traditional Star Wars release date, unless it gets pushed back to Christmas.
I love the Christmas releases. I think someone said that in our chat the other day. When things like Force Awakens came out, you could just keep popping to the cinema just to watch these films.
Yeah, I think Disney got that wrong with Disney Plus. So I completely agree with you that I love a Christmas release, and in fact, you know, when I was looking at this and people were saying about, oh, Skeleton Crew, yeah, can I, you know, Christmas time, and then people saying, oh, it's not entering the top 10 for streaming. Initially it wasn't, oh, it's not entering the top 10 charts or anything for streaming, because at Christmas, right, people are streaming Christmas movies because they want to get into that feeling, they want to get into this, that and the other, and you know there are certain things I know, right, Home Alone 2, National Lampoons, obviously Die Hard, you know, all these things, Daddy's Home 2, yeah, I like that movie, and all these things which I'll want to watch, and I'll probably want to watch the Office Christmas special, on, you know, Episodes Christmas special, all that sort of stuff, because I want to get in that Christmas spirit, that Christmas vibe. And if I know, oh yeah, this Skeleton Crew's coming out, I'll watch that after Christmas. And I think that's what's happened now. It's just entered the sort of top 10 in this week and last week. So I think it's because now Christmas has passed, people are now giving it a little bit more of the time of day. So I think Disney December releases are great for Star Wars movies at the cinema if people want to make an event of it and treat themselves. But I don't think it's a great idea for the TV. You know?
I mean, I think Solo suffered, didn't it? Because that was the first one they kind of shifted out in a May. It didn't help that it followed The Last Jedi either, did it? But it was but that was the first one that wasn't a Christmas release, and it was like, yeah, I think you're right. Keep the TV during the year, release a movie at Christmas. Win-win, everyone happy. So 2025, boys, events. I mean, at the moment, Pete and Jez do have plans for Celebration. Are they still? I mean, I know you're both on like you remind me both of like, oh, perhaps I could do like an image. Shame it's Craig. See, Craig would have loved me giving him a job here. Could you just do Jez and Pete flying in on a wrecking ball with Miley Cyrus playing, with you changing your minds whether you're going to Japan or not? But yeah. Where are you both sitting at the moment with your Celebration?
I'm not sure. I got the hotel sorted, obviously got the tickets sorted, this, that, and the other. Flights are just getting more and more expensive, and the longer I procrastinate, the longer I leave it, and I'm like, oh, I should have got that flight, and I'm not sure. If I do go this time, I won't be going really with anyone who I would normally be going with, because I know, you know, you're not going, Grant's not going, you know, obviously, you know, Craig having passed and Dan's away, and it's looking more likely Pete will come to it, but Pete's unlikely to go. So I'm just thinking, okay, so I'm not going to be going with anyone, but don't take this the wrong way, fellas, no disrespect, but that could be exactly what could really make it for me, because it would force me to go out and sort of maybe go to different panels and maybe sort of socially meet up with different people and whatnot. I look at, I think back to Star Wars Celebration in London in 2016, and I met Sean Moynihan, a really good friend of ours, you know, in a pub, in the Fox outside the Excel Centre, and you know, we just started talking Star Wars and this, that, and the other. Then 3 years later, I'm staying at his when I go to New York, because you know, we've become mates, and that was just that on that social scene. So half of me is just thinking, oh, you could have a great time, you could have an amazing time, don't worry about the price of flights, you know, you only live once, you're 50 next year or this year, just get out there and do it. But the other half is like, I don't know. So I don't know, mate, that's where I am right now.
Yeah, it's similar. I've got I've got tickets. I've got a cancelable hotel. No, cancelable hotel booked for the celebration part of it. We were going to do a bigger trip, like a 2 to 3 week trip around it and sort of tour part of Japan, which I've wanted to do for a long time. We costed that, and it was like eye-wateringly expensive, and that was back in, what did it cost that? October, November time, and flights have only gone up since then. So it's just crazy money, and it's just you think what else you could buy for that in terms of holidays and other trips. And it's over Easter. It's also springtime, so everyone's heading out to Japan for the blossoms. So you've got all of that playing into it and adding up the costs. I think it will be an amazing celebration. I think if I don't go, which is looking more than likely, I think I'll look at it when it all happens and think that would have been a great experience. But I think there are fewer people going, and I think the best celebrations I've done was probably Chicago and London 23, and that was just because there was a big crew of us. And I think for me, celebration is having loads of mates around and just enjoying that side of it. And I think the Tokyo one may be lacking on that side of it. So I think the minute I decided not to do a bigger trip, it was a bigger question mark over it. And I'm a classic procrastinator anyways, and it's much easier to not spend thousands of pounds committing to it than
the one thing keeping me thinking maybe is because there is it's Essen. The first celebration I went to was in Germany, Europe 2 in Essen, and that was incredible. That was amazing, probably because it was you never forget your first love type thing. But it wasn't that busy. So I got in every panel. There was no sort of lotteries or anything like that. And I do think that they're still going to have all the content. They're going to have whatever reveals. They'll have panels. They'll have various different things. And the fact that they've still got some tickets for sale fills me with a little bit more optimism with regards to, you're going to get in all the panels. So, and I hope I will do if I do go. Yeah, I don't know. I think ask me in 4 weeks' time.
Dan,
I'm sure.
But you're probably sitting there thinking the same thing as what I'm just thinking. You mean Pete was like, I'm gutted, my friends aren't coming, going to be a bit disappointed. Where Jez is like, it's going to be a much better trip. You boys aren't coming. I mean, it's unreal.
I am a bit disappointed. Well, I'll be disappointed if you don't go. Jez, because I need someone to pick my stuff up from the celebration store. So
you love
that
right, store.
Or you, Pete. I don't mind, do.
I know there are certain people that have bought flights and are well up for it. And talking to Farthest From to a few people who are like, there's just no question they're not going.
Who you like?
Sorry?
Did you just say talking to people at Farthest From that I like?
I think that I like everyone at Farthest From. So I think there's certain people have committed and they just think there's no way they're not going. But the general kind of mood I'm hearing is to sort of to not do it, not commit. So, which is a shame. I think it would have been. I think it will be an amazing experience. So I think I want to make my mind up this month, but I think I kind of know which way I'm leaning.
Do you want me to put a poll out, see if there's some friends for you?
Is there anyone to play with?
Well, I'm telling you both now. You've both put yourself in a position where you plan to go. If you choose not to right now, 10 days before that event, when everybody's talking about it online and you're seeing swag and you're seeing guest announcements and it's building up, you're going to be like, oh, bugger, I wish I was going. Do it. Both of you, just do it. Yeah. Go and enjoy yourselves. I will be going to Basildon Comic Con. I won't be.
Is that the same weekend?
I have no idea. I just saw it advertised on Facebook earlier. I think I scrolled past it. But happy days. Happy days. And obviously next year, we've already mentioned Farthest From. There's another Echo coming. I think we're all there apart from Dan. I reckon Dan will pop in on Saturday for a couple of hours, especially now he knows I've got a table because he loves sticking loads of crap on the end of my table. at these
Yeah, we've
events.
got,
Don't you, then?
we've got a table book, haven't we, for that? So that's not far. 29th of March.
Yes, yeah, be round before you know it.
5 days before my 50th, the big 50. So Dan better be there.
Oh, Dan, yeah, come down, have a beer, dance around. Ooh, yeah, let the music take you, Dan. Just sway, side to side. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh dear. I will do my very best. I've got a holiday planned a couple of weeks after that, so I need to get myself organised. But if I can, I will come down.
You'll be there. Just start packing a day earlier, okay?
It's not packing, is it? It's all the other stuff.
Well, go on. What do you mean? All the other stuff.
Oh, I'm not going to go.
Come on, let's unpack this, Dan. Okay, what's the problem now?
No.
Okay, we'll have a chat offline, mate. Okay, give you a virtual hug. 2025, then, boys. So we've done TV events. I'm pretty sure we'll all be delving into collecting. But as a podcast, what do you boys think we should be doing next year? I've already suggested to you all. It's Revenge of the Sith's 20th birthday. And it's a strange one because whenever I see these anniversaries, I always look at them and think, oh, blimey, I can't believe like Force Awakens 11 years old or where it is already. But Revenge of the Sith, it feels like it's longer ago than 20 years. I find it a bit of a strange one. It feels too new. But anniversary month, Dan?
Oh, yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah.
And even the Force Awakens, I'll be up for doing something for that. We got to do the Andor stuff. I know Jez is a big flag waver for that.
Yeah,
that's definitely game on.
There's loads I want to do. Put it this way, fellas, right? I'm starting my new job on Monday, which has got a 5-minute commute, and I think I'll be finishing earlier than I currently finish my current job, which has got an hour and a quarter, hour and a half commute. I'm going to have loads more. So I'm going to really, really irritate you guys. I'm going to wind you up so much because I'll be like, right, I've got this spare time. Let's do this show. Let's do an Andor show. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do a show on John Williams. Let's do.
It's great we're recording this. So when you say, I'm up to my eyes, I'm so busy.
Yeah, no.
Play this back to you.
As of next week, I mean, I think next week is going to be, I'm going to be a bit deer in the headlights with my new job. But having seen the working sort of schedule of the person I'm going to be taking over from, coupled with the fact that it is just 5 minutes away as opposed to hour and a quarter, hour and a half away each way, I'm really, really looking forward to it. So for me, lots more time for Generations Skywalker.
I'm going to miss your commute, Jez. It's the only time you ever phone me.
We do have a catch up, don't we? Yeah.
I think everything's back on the table again, like it should be with Generation Skywalker. We've said it. I think we'll cover Skeleton Crew. I'll ensure that. We got Andor. We decided we'd never really dug into Andor, and it's something that we all absolutely love. So it's kind of like crazy. I want us to do like a long weekend where we just go around the sites. We make like a video vlog kind of diary thing where we just travel around. We see all those sites as a team, have a laugh, video it, get drunk. Jez nearly kills us at some point because it always does because that's in his makeup. And we just like, yeah, something completely different. Just go and visit these places. So the modern way will be back. The first modern way, which we're going to record next week, is going to be based on the retro. Now, I bought the first 2-3 waves of the retro collection. I sold them. I think I've still got like the Kenobi line, and I think I've got the Boba Fett line maybe somewhere back there in the junk. But I was always wishy-washy about it until I saw the reveal at Farthest From. And those 6 figures, well, Walrus Man we had when we were kids, but the other 5 all resonated that these were the figures we always hoped for as kids. This was what the retro line should be. To see the likes of Dr. Everson, whatever you want to call him, the Rebel Trooper, which we always wanted, Han Solo in Stormtrooper, the Sand Troopers. I just like, this is what it's about. And I'm going to go back and buy the whole lot of retro figures. Because if they're going to do it right, we could have a hell of a collection of retro figures. It could be great. So we're going to do an episode where we're going to just touch on 2024, and then we're going to give the retro collection some loving. hour-long show for Modern Way. You boys are coming with me, whether you like it or not. Okay. The second episode, we're going to. I reckon some of these figures are being released for the retro collection because the Cantina will be landing later on in the year. So I want us to look at some figures from the Cantina and how we would fill it with the best sculpts, because there has been many, many over the years. And I've also started drawing up some notes to do a 6-part special on Power of the Force 2, because that line does not get the love and appreciation it deserves. All you ever hear is, oh, muscle figures. That was a wave or two. That wasn't the line. And that's got some amazing sculpts in it, boys. So the Modern Way is going to be good next year. We're going to make them shorter, but we're going to make them on a topic. And
praise the Lord.
Yeah,
happy with that.
I think Pete, you're getting an interview with George Lucas. You've promised that to the team behind the scenes, saying you've got the links.
Talk about his new museum, yeah. And that's on
well, or just Star Wars, mate, in general. I think you won't struggle with that. But yeah, lots on the table. Anyone else gonna
need some vintage content in there?
Vintage content. There you go. Pete's doing vintage content for you all.
And as I said, the biggest note, the longest notes I've got on my phone is Andor, because that is the show I've just repeatedly gone back and watched, and I've just got reams of notes. We are going to be dropping a show per arc, a story arc for Andor, and hopefully that will be dropped and available pre-series 2. So that's absolutely a plan for end of Feb, March, early April, in addition to all the pre-celebration bits and pieces and all that. So loads of plans. Yeah,
and I think guests. I think we perhaps not had as many guests on as what we could have in recent times. So if anybody is listening that fancies coming on, and that's really the new way of interviewing guests. Yeah, kind of like. Do you ever listen to? Does anyone listen to Russell Howard's Wonderbox podcast, where he has people on and they pick 5 things in their life which they would put into their Wonderbox, their most important things, and sometimes it's just the most random stuff. It might be a memory, it might be an event they went to, it might be a physical item. Perhaps I think we spoke about doing something similar when we first started Generation Skywalker, like they give us 5 photos, but maybe something along those lines where they can just open up anything to do with Star Wars. Or this might just be an idea that you hear here and you never hear again, because that's what we're really good at Generation Skywalker.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, but we'll come up with some more ideas.
Oh yeah, one more thing. The Geeky Tiki from Brandon, the layer that we did the charity auction for. I don't think we spoke about that. So back on May the 4th, when we went to Craig's flat to take a look at his collection one last time. It was obviously on May the 4th, and the limited edition layer Tiki dropped. And we all, I think me, Jez, Stu, I think Mark Daniels and Kimberly all wanted one. So I messaged Brandon to talk about shipping because we couldn't get them to the UK any other way. And he kindly sent us a case of them with 1 extra for us to do something with. So I actually put that on eBay before Christmas. For a charity auction for Mighton Hospice. I think that sold for, was it 230 quid? Plus, we managed to raise as well, I think, an additional 80 quid through an Instagram fundraiser. So all in all, we raised best part of 300 quid for Mighton Hospice. And yeah, just want to say a big thank you to Brandon from Beeline for sending that over to us and let us raise a bit of money for charity.
Very good point. I think Martin's got a beautiful piece there. It's those things are lovely. I'd hate to be the only member of the podcast say that I hadn't got one.
You haven't even got a hot toy, Stu.
No, I'd like to.
We're going to change a lot this year, Pete. I'm going to bully you. Okay, so we've just had this show, the 15th of January, Craig's birthday. It will be that lost episode with Craig, about 18 months after it was recorded. That is a committee on Star Wars cameos. We'll then have a Modern Way with a bit of retro loving. And then we have recorded a committee. I reckon we recorded that in October. Would that be fair, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so, if not earlier.
That is ready to go, but the artwork has halted it. That will come as well in January, and I'm sure there'll be something else out in January. We're working on it now. It will come thick and fast. Our social media has probably been a little bit quiet recently, but we will have that back up and running. So find us on Instagram, just search for Generation Skywalker. Of course, on Facebook, Generation Skywalker page gives you all our main releases and stuff, but obviously we will have the community page. We are Generation Skywalker. Go and find that, joining any conversation that we do bring up in the near future. We do have TikTok, but don't really know what's happening with that at the moment. It's, you know, all these things will start churning into life again. The YouTube channel, we probably won't enhance. We won't, no, probably about it. We won't enhance every show. That was a love of Craig used to enjoy doing it. It is time consuming. I don't think any of us would ever get them to what Craig's level was and standard was. But we will release certain things on YouTube. Perhaps some unboxings will come back. Perhaps some event videos. We will still be using the YouTube account. So all these things will start to churn again over the next couple of months.
Just lovely to be back, isn't it?
It is. It is just nice to get all your faces looking at me. Dan with his COVID mask in his Skype picture still.
It's not a COVID mask.
No, but say it's on your face, isn't it?
That's the Bane mask from my wedding.
It's because the picture's so small. It looks like you've got like a COVID mask on your wedding day. But yeah, Jez with his running Stormtrooper and PL for P
with his initials.
Yeah, well, there we have it. So that is it for this show. We're back. We're delighted to be back, and I can't wait to get started. But it is for this show. Goodbye from Petey Weedy.
Goodbye. Good night. Cheers, guys.
Goodbye from Dan Burgess.
Cheerio.
And it is good night from Jez.
See you next time.
And it is good night from me. We're Generation Skywalker. All eras, all passions, all Star Wars.